Hello, my name is Ethan Borg and I am the creator of Fu Xi Wen Open Source Medicine, a medicine I hope that you will learn and contribute to. I'm going to show you some of the tools that we use in Fu Xi Wen, and I'm going to demonstrate a beginner level treatment. The most important tool is a compass. You need a compass in order to know your local north, not true north, but local north, which is available through your compass, and north, south, and all of the degrees around it, so that you can figure out your tissue angles. There's a tissue angle chart on the website that will tell you how you can find the tissue angles for every single tissue that we have figured out so far. There's also the anatomy guide that tries to break down all of anatomy according to its tissue angles, and it's part of the Human Tissue Project, which I hope that you will join and help me with. The next tool I want to show you is a chopstick. We call chopsticks in Fu Xi Wen, we call it a teishin. It doesn't matter necessarily that it's this size, but a normal standard size chopstick is perfect. I like metal. Metal conducts the energy a lot easier in terms of feeling it when you learn a little bit more about the medicine. But you can use any old chopstick. You can use ones that you get from a store that are given away for free. And by the way, the compass you can get at a like a sporting goods store inexpensively. This one's probably $2. Works fine. The other tools that we use, one such tool is the speaker connected to your computer. Another tool you could use is part of it. Ear headphones, perfectly fine, very easy. I would say that this is preferable to this. You can hook these right into the same speaker out parts of your computer, or you can use a PDA, which has tone software on it, and if you go to the online store, you'll find recommendations. The other tool that I have, which I of course forgot to bring out, is a tuning fork, but I hope you know what a tuning fork looks like. In my practice, my clinical practice, I use tuning forks almost exclusively. Sometimes I use this PDA. Can be helpful, but this gets a little bulky. The little wire gets in my way a lot, so I prefer the tuning fork. As you learn a little bit more, you might learn about Fu Xi Wen medicinals. You can treat water and use that as medicine. So that's what I do. Of course, Fu Xi Wen is not regulated by the FDA, and so you can only treat yourself. Treating other people would be considered practicing medicine without a license, and so that is why we desperately need donations so that we can basically create a licensing program, pay people to help us navigate the difficult roads of what it would take to make that legal. So, what does a beginner treatment look like? First of all, we need to figure out the tissue that we're going to treat. So I'm going to use my arm and say, oh, I have a muscle problem here. So the muscle, there's different angles that relate to the muscle. There is a big range. So right now, I'm going to point this 10 degrees closer to north, or clockwise from direct west. And I'm going to make it perfectly parallel with the ground, and that's going to be related to the deepest muscle. But the range goes all the way to 85 degrees, almost directly straight up, and that's going to relate to the most superficial muscles, and the most, if we're looking at an individual muscle, the most superficial aspect of that muscle, the closest to the surface. So this is the range that relates to muscles. Now, if I was going to treat the muscles, I would play a beginner sound, which is available through the website, at these angles. So let's say we're going to treat just the deepest muscle. Well, I would point my tool at that same angle I just showed you with this chopstick, and I would hold it there and keep it there for 2 minutes. 2 minutes is a pretty strong treatment. In reality, 30 seconds is plenty. I tell people to do it for 2 minutes as beginners because you're really going to have a much stronger sensation, so you'll know that something's happening, so that you'll have more confidence in the medicine and you'll learn more. But really, 30 seconds is plenty. And in my practice, I move through things very quickly. I don't even treat for 30 seconds. So still, these are recommendations, but not necessarily rules. They're more principles. So I would hold it just like this for 30 seconds, or up to 2 minutes as a beginner treatment. The next thing I would do is, well, it's hard to do this with two hands, but I would put the teishin in the same orientation, this chopstick in the same orientation, and then I would treat around the chopstick, up, down, side to side. So, let's use a different muscle to demonstrate that. Let's use an abdominal muscle. So this would be related to the deep abdominal muscle. And so the first part of the treatment would be to point this for 2 minutes in that direction. The second part of the treatment is to point the teishin or the chopstick in that same orientation, and then treat directly down for 30 seconds, directly up for 30 seconds, directly north, south. Actually, I had those backwards. I hope no one's watching. Oh, I hope you are watching. Okay, so this is north, this is south, directly east, and directly west. 30 seconds. Again, these are principles, not rules. And then when I'm done with that, I just remove the teishin, and I do the same thing without the teishin. Directly up, directly down, directly south, directly north, east, and west, in that same area. That's it. It doesn't take very long at all, and now I've treated my muscle, and I wait 24 hours to see what kind of effect I have. You're going to feel, after you treat yourself, you'll feel certain sensations. You might feel tingling, warmth, a trickling sensation. I have to scratch myself there, I'm sorry. You may feel sensations of heat. You may feel movements like into your hands and feet. Your hands and feet might get cold. That's normal to have cold hands and feet after a treatment that lasts about 24 hours. You may have aches and pains that come and go that are sharp, sudden, and then disappear. Those are normal sensations. 24 hours later, you're going to start to notice the full impact of this treatment. That muscle is going to feel different to me. And then I can assess, did I get the right tissue? Was that deep muscle the muscle I needed to treat? If it wasn't, I need to consider, are there other muscles I need to treat? Or is it a different tissue altogether? It feels like a muscle here, but maybe it's actually the tendinous connection with the rib that I need to treat that's causing that pain. This is the complicated part of Fu Xi Wen, is figuring out the tissues. But once you figure out the tissues and you treat them, the effects are dramatic. And even though you might start to have an immediate impact from that treatment, or it might take up to 24 hours, but it will have a very deep impact. And the more you learn about Chinese medicine, the more you learn about Fu Xi Wen, which is based on traditional Chinese medicine theory, and also modern ideas of anatomy and physiology, the more you can do, the more you can focus your treatment not just on the deep muscles or the superficial muscles, but on parts of the muscles, like the blood vessels inside the muscles, the nerve connection to the muscles, the muscle connection to the bone, and look at things from different dependencies. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. Just start off with this beginning approach and let's see how it works for you.